Recently, a parody movement called the Cockroach Party exploded online. In just a few days, 22 million Indians followed an actual insect over traditional politicians. People are frustrated. They look at the ballot, see decades of dynasty politics and caste-based voting, and decide a literal bug is a better option. But blaming individual leaders, inflation, or unemployment is missing the actual mechanism at work here. The system isn't failing because of a few bad apples. The mechanics of Indian democracy were written in a room in London in 1885. It is a British algorithm called first past the post, and it is mathematically designed to force division. Take a look at this tally chart for a dinner order among 10 friends. 4 want pizza, 3 want biryani, and 3 want burgers. Under first past the post, pizza wins simply because it got the highest single total. Yet 60% of the table wanted something completely different, and their preferences are entirely ignored. Apply that exact math to a country of 1.4 billion people. In the last 3 national elections, the winning party secured a vote share of 31%, 37.3%, and 36.5%. Over 60% of the voting public consistently chooses someone else. A system built on bypassing the vast majority of its citizens creates a specific set of incentives. Politicians know the math, and they exploit it to win. This Harania constituency has 2 million voters, 30% Jats, 22% Dalits, 12% Yadavs. In a 4-way race, you only need 25 to 28% to win. The calculated move? Lock down one 30% demographic by promising them exclusive government jobs and contracts. You win the election, and the remaining 70% of the district receives almost no representation or resources for the next 5 years. First past the post mathematically demands identity politics. It actively rewards leaders who divide voters into isolated, manageable factions to reach that low 28% threshold. Now, imagine a representative who rejects the strategy. They try to govern inclusively, distributing contracts and funding fairly across all communities. The moment they do, their core 30% base starts to feel ignored. A rival steps in, promises to prioritize that specific group again, and fractures the coalition. The inclusive leader loses the seat. This trap scales nationally. A movement with 15 million supporters spread evenly across India won't secure a single seat. Votes only translate to power if densely packed geographically, which is why nationwide issues like small businesses or climate change rarely win elections. The equation inherently filters out candidates who want to build a broad national consensus. After World War II, Germany implemented an alternative mechanism called proportional representation. Every citizen gets 2 votes, one for their local representative and a second for the national party they actually support. This diagram shows how it works. If a party earns 10% of the national vote, they get 10% of the seats. The immediate objection from established politicians is that this leads to fractured, unstable coalition governments. But India already operates through massive coalitions. They are just hidden under large branded alliances. The sweeping economic reforms of 1991 and the massive telecom boom and the launch of the Aadhaar system were all driven by multi-party coalitions. Looking globally, highly developed economies like the Netherlands, Sweden, and Denmark all rely on coalitions and proportional representation. Inclusive governance regularly drives progress rather than paralyzing it. Without strict rules, the system can backfire. Italy has cycled through 69 governments since 1946 because they lack proper entry thresholds, allowing tiny, single-issue parties to hold the legislature hostage. Germany solved this by installing 2 specific safeguards. First, a 5% minimum vote threshold keeps extreme fringe groups out. Second, a constructive no-confidence rule requires Parliament to have a verified replacement ready before they can vote a current leader out, ensuring the government never completely collapses. India's Law Commission has recommended adopting these exact mechanisms since 1999, but making the switch requires a 2/3 majority in Parliament. The reform relies on the approval of the exact parties currently profiting from the broken math. You cannot scale a $30 trillion economy using an 1885 British algorithm that discards the voices of hundreds of millions of people. It is the defining bottleneck of Indian democracy, and until it gets updated, the division will remain a feature, not a bug.